in A and B, in part A and B, right? Minus the deductible of 166 bucks, right? So that's what Plan G does. So when you're talking to a client, you're comparing F and you're comparing G, what are you doing? Just a cost analysis, right? What's going to make the most sense for them?
Depends on how much they go to the doctor.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're looking at. Because there also is the high deductible F, which is a really good option for people who want to save money and take that high deductible.
Yeah.
Minus the high deductible F though. If you're just comparing F, Plan F and Plan G, right? How are you going to tell your client which one makes the most sense? If Plan F is $100 a month, right? And that's going to fill in 100% of the gaps from Part A and B. And Plan G is $75 per month. And that's going to cover 100% of the gaps in A and B minus the deductible of $166. What's the cost savings per year?
$300.
$300
So if they go to the doctor twice or more, it's better to get F in that case.
How do you figure?
Because if you have...
Because if they go to the doctor 3 times, that's $480.
It's an annual deductible.
Oh, is it an annual?
It's an
Oh,
annual
okay,
deductible.
okay.
It's not a deductible every
I
time.
thought it was a per.
No, it's not a per visit.
But that's just saying if you go to the doctor 2 times a year,
You've already saved your money.
you save $22 theoretically if that numbers are aligned. So if you're talking to somebody that only goes to the doctor once a year, you're just better off not doing that. And if you're going 2 or more times, then you go into the plan. That's how I see it.
Well, the way I see it is it doesn't matter how often they go to the doctor, whether they ever go at all, or whether they go 100 times in a year. Plan G is going to make the most sense for them, right? Because they're saving $300 on the premium. And if they go 0 times, they won't touch this 166 deductible. If they go 100 times, they got to cover this 166 deductible. And instead of saving just $300 in the premium, they're saving $134
Oh, okay.
total.
So it makes
Okay?
sense, yeah.
So Plan G is more times than not going to always come out like that. It's always going to save you more in the premium than the deductible being met. Does that make sense? All right. So that's Plans F and G. Pretty basic stuff, guys, right? There's also a high deductible Plan F. Why would selling a high deductible plan, my girls on the call are experts on this. Why would selling a high deductible Plan F make sense for your client? So let's just use these numbers. We got a $100 a month Plan F, which is going to cover 100% of the gaps in A and B. And then we got a high deductible Plan F that is also going to cover 100% of the gaps in A and B. But there's going to be a deductible of $21.60. $21.80?
Yeah.
$21.80. Okay? So there's a deductible of $21.80. After that, they're covered 100% in those gaps, right? Why might it make sense to sell somebody a high deductible Plan F? Say this is $35 a month.
That's about what it is for a 65-year-old.
So if you're healthy, you don't go to the doctor much, you want to save some money on your monthly premium.
Yeah, pay now or pay later, right? Same thing, right? That's one thing. What else?
Health.
Health, yeah. They're healthy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't sell them this if they were sick, right? You'd want to cover their gaps because they're going to use it. They're going to go. And they're not going to come out ahead if they have to pay the premium and the deductible and they're sick. And you know they're going to meet their deductible. So a healthy person, right? Healthy person, let's just say they automatically agreed to Plan F. Yeah, I want to do a Plan F. Let's do it. Let's fill in the gaps. No, man, I'm healthy. I never go to the doctor. Okay, cool. Why might you present them a high deductible Plan F?
Because then you can sell them a cancer, heart, stroke, or an accident accident medical expense.
Final expense.
And final expense.
Add a final expense plan. Hey man, you're healthy, you're not going to use this stuff. What if I save you some money on the premium, get you a high deductible plan, and I can throw in $20,000 life insurance? right?
Back to what Dan was saying with the AME and the cancer, heart, stroke. Isn't there like age limitations,
Yeah,
like 65?
69 is the highest they can get that to.
For both AME and the
And, yeah.
and the
I
Well,
thought,
after 60, they won't qualify for a CI. They'll have to go for a cancer, heart, stroke.
I think
after
it's
60.
64.
I think it is 64 too.
Is it 64?
I'm pretty,
So
I just
after
went
64 is
through
cancer, heart, stroke, but there's no sickness either, right, on the AME?
No. No.
Maybe like a fixed benefit then?
I don't even.
Guys, when you're talking seniors, okay, versus under 64, okay, separate them. Over 65, these are the subs you're gonna sell. Plans F, Plan G, okay? Under 65, you sell your Assurant, okay? Don't get them confused. Unless you wanna sell someone who's 68 a dental, you'll have that opportunity, okay? But don't start crossing them.
So don't you look into getting cancer, heart, stroke, or anything like that?
It goes to 64. These people are gonna be
Oh,
over
right.
65 primarily, so no, don't look into cancer, heart, stroke for these people.
Yeah, because I think it's after 65, it's a 50% benefit to 69 years old. So-
Whatever it is, don't worry about it. You're talking Medicare subs, you're talking to seniors, these are the subs that they care about because they already have the health plan, right? And don't we sell supplements to cover the out-of-pocket on the health plan primarily? That's how we sell so many supplements, right? It's to cover the gaps. So we should be fantastic at this. We're just a different market. A market that, did I mention, 80 million people are turning 65 in the next decade? Did anybody hear me say that stat
Yeah.
before?
It's a lot of people.
80 million people, yeah.
I give it a little twist.
How about 1% of that market share? How about 1%?
80,000?
That would be 800,000 clients, Dan. 800,000 seniors. 1% of the market share. Not greedy, right? There's a lot of people out there to help. Okay. So, all right. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're going to have Dan walk you guys through how to quote this stuff. Okay. And I think you guys are gonna like seeing this quoting engine. And remember, I said the Medicare subs is the same format as the life insurance,
over there?
which is the same format as the final expense, obviously. So term life, final expense. So you guys will see this quoting system, and you're gonna find it pretty easy. So it's gonna be a lot less overwhelming than I think it already is when I tell you you gotta get contracted with 10 med sup carriers, you gotta get contracted with 10 life insurance carriers, you know. You'll see how it's laid out and it makes it very simple to work with. So you can, the demographic information will go in one time and you're gonna get a list of all the carriers depending on what plan you wanna quote. And again, you'll have that functionality when whether you're selling term life or final expense, and so it makes it pretty simple. All right, so Dan, the floor is yours.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to go to premiersmi.com. So everybody write that down so you know what the landing is, okay? So once you're actually at the home page,
And real quick, sorry, Denise and Yolanda, this is, once you guys do your contracting for MedSubs, which you should already have an invite for. Have you guys gotten invites for Surance